To explain One-Act, it's a competition in high school that we have only in Texas, I think, and you compete, you have to cut a play, and it can be any play, and you have to cut it down to 40 minutes, and then you compete against other schools in your area depending on the size of your school, and you start off at district, then by district, then area, region, and hopefully state, so it's a really long process, and it's a lot of work, but it's amazing. A Streetcar Named Desire is about Blanche Dubois, and she's the sister of Stella Dubois, but she married a man named Stanley, so Stella Kowalski. And Blanche doesn't really fit in anywhere, and she ends up coming to live with her sister Stella and her husband. And right off the bat, there's a lot of tension between Stanley and Blanche. You can just tell that things are going to happen. The show is pretty much just about Blanche's struggle and how she doesn't fit in with anyone. She always trusts people too much, and she's constantly disappointed by them, and she blames herself for a lot of things that have happened. So the whole show is pretty much just Blanche trying to find who she is and failing, and having to deal with lots of struggles and having to face things with Stanley, with Mitch, with Stella. It seems like no one really is on her side, and I kind of see her as like the boy who cried wolf, because throughout her whole life Blanche lies about what happens to her and exaggerates everything, and she never feels good enough and is never confident, so she has to make things more elaborate than they are until something does actually happen to her that is awful, and because she's lying, no one believes her. So it's a really tragic story, but it's beautiful and it's really human and real, and I think it's a really good reflection of the real world and not just butterflies and rainbows. I know that I'm doing one of my better performances when I'm not thinking about anything except being Blanche, when I don't have to even think about it, when I'm just being Blanche. If I'm thinking about things, how's this show going, I know that I'm not like fully invested into that moment. Of course, like backstage, I'm like, okay, I hope I'm doing good, but while I'm on stage, I always try to be completely as invested as I can, and I know that if I'm not, then I'm not fully into the moment as I should be. So I think that my thought process on stage is to think as much like Blanche and be Blanche as I can. My favorite thing about One-Act, oh, there's so many. It's weird because, especially this year, there's a lot of new people, new freshmen, incoming people, and you start off not really knowing everyone, just polite small talk, kind of strangers, and by the end of the year, or by the time we're at now, you're family, and it's crazy how much things can change and how much relationships develop, and I think that's my favorite part about One-Act, is the family aspect of it, because I really trust these people here more than anyone, and really think like theater, One-Act, and practice is like the place that I feel the happiest in my life. And it's because of everyone around me, and it's because of like the atmosphere that people create. I also love competition. I'm very competitive, so I love the competition aspect of it, but the family that is One-Act is really what it's about for me, because I just don't think there's anything like that in high school. Before I started acting, I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. I was really bad at sports, and I tried to be, and I couldn't play them, and I just never really found my place until I started acting, and it's just really, acting is just really a place for me where I can like let go of everything that like happens at home. I don't have to think about it. It's just, I get to come here and just pretend to be someone else, which is kind of a weird way to put it, but there's something really therapeutic about it for me, and like, I don't know, it's a way to escape. And not only that, but like, I feel like the characters I've gotten to play have shaped me for who I am today, and like really shown me parts of myself I didn't know were there. So acting for me is just a lot about self-exploration, a lot about healing. That's kind of cheesy, but that's what it is for me. And a lot, like I said earlier, a lot about the family and the friendships that you make. So.